Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. Today is March 17th, 2023, St. Patrick's Day, live from sunny Ohio. Today we are playing some Diablo 4 beta, baby. Holy shit, we're blown out because it's daylight in my room, but fuck it. So yeah, buckle up, grab a drink, grab a snack. We're gonna hop right into it. I gotta join the Discord. All right, let's do it. We don't need any music. We're gonna go with the Diablo music. I need to update the sub counter. Oh. 54-minute queue. Bruh. That's tough. That's super tough. Well, I'm gonna wait it. I mean, obviously, we have no choice. You would think, like, I bought the deluxe edition. I wish I would get in before the fucking dude who bought the double down at KFC, you know? But I suppose not. So we'll hope it just moves quickly. But an hour wait, oof, kind of tough. Everybody's just getting off work, though, so I want to get in quick. Hopefully my spot's saved. We'll update this. We're at 158. Almost there, pushing ahead. Love to see it. I mean, I guess, do we watch videos, content in the meantime? I want to, oh, it went down 4 minutes. Let's go. Hey, yo. It's a good time too because hopefully like people that did get in around noon when it first went up, or 3 or wherever you're at, or 9 or wherever you're in the world, it was noon for me. Yeah, but hopefully those people that got in then are getting a little tired and probably gonna log off for the day, or not the day, but maybe take a break, eat some dinner, come back. So hopefully some people are migrating out and I can get in quicker than 50 fucking minutes. Yeah, I guess we will watch some content. What content shall we watch? Okay, didn't capture. We'll watch this guy.
Force from now until March 26, you can save up to 40%
Shut up.
for all of it, and you could just throw it all in the trash. It doesn't matter, because without question, the #1 game sitting at the top of my list is Diablo 4. Out of everything coming in 2023, this is the game that I expect to spend the most time playing. Now, I know, there's a lot of stuff to be concerned about.
Me too. Hopefully I'm spending... Well, this will be my first Diablo ever. Hopefully I'll be spending a good chunk of time playing it. Hopefully it's good.
Right? Blizzard going max monetization
I bought the deluxe edition.
with a box price battle pass, cash shop, and selling an expansion down the road. It's like everything but NFTs, basically. Concerns about things like content variety or the end game replayability. And then, of course, there's the itemization and progression worries for all of us mega ARPG nerds. Pick your poison, right? Any one of these things may very well ruin Diablo 4 in the end for some of you. But today, I want to cast those concerns aside. Valid as they may be, I've made plenty of videos already covering this stuff, and I'm sure I will make more in the future.
I saw the console version, and I was like, oh man, we're fucked. we're so fucked. This looks like a shitty game. It doesn't look good, but I guess the console version and the PC. Well, I did see the difference. Oh my god, it's looks like two different games.
Future. No, as hard as it sounds, today I want us to recall the fact that this is a leisure hobby meant to be enjoyed. Or in other words, gaming is supposed to be fun, yeah? And you know what? I've already played a ton of Diablo 4 through various early hands-on events, including BlizzCon back when that was still a thing. And the game is fun, like a lot of fun. So between the time that I've spent with the game and everything else we've learned and seen through
So when I did get in, there's no necromancer and no druid. Fuck, or in the beta at least.
Reviews, I'm really looking forward to the full release of Diablo 4. So today,
And in the full release, there will be the druid and the necromancer, but right now, in the beta, there isn't.
I want to talk about why I am, and maybe you should be too, excited for Diablo 4. First and foremost, and this is probably the easiest gimme of them all, the combat and gameplay in Diablo 4 are just fantastic. Maybe unsurprisingly, as game feel is something that Blizzard has almost always done well. For everything that's changed with the company over
like it looks so bad for the console, but this looks so good.
For the years, they seem to get this right more times than not. I'd even go as far as to say that even if Blizzard dropped the ball with everything else about Diablo 4, the combat is good enough to keep me playing for quite some time. Moving through the world, smashing hordes of demons, casting spells, it all looks, sounds, and feels fantastic. Now, whenever I talk about a game feeling good to play, it can kind of come across as vague. Like, what does that even mean? What does it mean for it to feel good?
I don't think that's vague. I mean, if you're a gamer, you know what that means. UI is good, it's optimized, it's smooth. There aren't a bunch of bugs. I know what it means.
Let's add some specificity here, shall we? Game feel really has everything to do with the moment-to-moment satisfaction that comes from character movement and combat. Separate from any other systems, features, or progression, much of what we
I was going to say mechanisms, but mechanics, game mechanics.
Attribute to good-feeling gameplay really boils down to a few things. First of all, having low input latency and responsive controls, like your character responding properly and in a timely manner to your inputs. When this is even slightly delayed, it can feel awful. When it is on point, it feels super crisp. Along with that is having smooth and high quality animations for the character, the various attacks, and then how those attacks are received by targets as well as the environment. Things like accurate hit detection play a big role here as well. And actually, to that point, Blizzard has detailed some of the work they've done to ensure that the damage hitboxes match up with attack and spell animations as much as possible. So when you swing your sword, the damage is applied with the animation and not just when the animation happens. They actually showcased a few examples of how this plays out, and while it may seem like a minor thing, this sort of detail adds a ton to the feel of the gameplay experience. On top of that, they've also revamped how enemies react to being hit so that their animations will match not only the impact
Sorry
type
about
of
that.
damage that's
Yo,
being
what
dealt,
up,
but also the direction that
What's
the
going on,
attack
dog?
comes from.
How you doing today?
Finally, there is combat audio, the sounds that are
Waiting to get
associated
in.
with the attacks.
Getting into Diablo. Let's check. 42 minutes left, which is not bad because like 7 minutes ago it was at 54. So we're making progress. Oh, you guys can't see it. Boom. 42 minutes left. But we're making progress. A lot of people want to play this game.
And spells, the monsters, and the world itself. This often gets overlooked, but when it is done right, it adds so much
Animated
to the
damage
and in Diablo
is massive. Animated damage, like in Fortnite, you get a headshot. That's so satisfying. Like animated damage is massive in games.
Before the sounds, they sound good.
At first, doing better now that you're streaming. Aw, you're too kind. I have the best community. Thank you, TRX. But yeah, at first I was like, dude, this doesn't sound that great. But the longer it went on, I'm like, okay, this is sounding better and better.
And when all
One more time.
sounds, they sound good.
Yeah, that does sound good.
And when all of this comes together, when you've got the responsive controls, when you've got well-designed visual effects and animations, and how those animations line up with the damage that's being dealt, and then all of the associated audio, this is really what distinguishes games where attacking feels like you're swinging
I hope I have people to play with
from games that we would say have solid.
It doesn't matter. I'm a lone wolf. I play regardless. I'll be grinding the fuck out of this game. I'll meet people on it, but yeah, hopefully I have a couple people to play with.
Visceral or good feeling combat. And from what I've played so far, Diablo 4 totally has good feeling combat. Oh, and also this could be an entire section in and of itself, but I just will add this on here. Across the board, their use of dynamic animations is really cool. So they've got dynamic player skills, where as your skills get more powerful, either enhanced via the upgrades in the skill tree or from your gear, the visual effects will ramp up to correspond with that increased strength. So the level 1 version of Incinerate, for example, visually actually looks weaker compared to the max level of Incinerate. This is the case across
little details go a long way in a game like that. That goes a long way.
All attacks and spells within the game, and it is
that makes me want to grind to get that get that animation up.
Cool system. Then there's also skill-driven deaths. This was a feature in Diablo 3, and it's making a return with some
skill-driven deaths.
Here. There are basically multiple categories of death type for enemies, which trigger depending on what ability it was that killed them. So every class in the game actually has access to a handful of unique death animations that they can inflict upon enemies. So like everything else that was in this first section, it's just
this is my first Diablo game, so I'm pumped. All the hype has sucked me in so much.
One more piece of the puzzle.
I really haven't even played Blizzard games. I didn't play Overwatch. I didn't play WoW. Didn't play Diablo. I haven't really played a Blizzard game.
That really adds this level of detail, this attention to detail that all come together to really enhance the experience. They make playing the game, the gameplay, the feel of it all really, really good. Now, before we go on to reason number 2 as to why you should be excited, I'd like to thank today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by longtime sponsor. Link below, or head over 5 distinct regions. They can be moved through from one to the other seamlessly without hitting a loading screen ever.
So
and this really,
I guess the beta is one region, which is fine. I mean, I don't want them to drop all the content in the beta.
Just adds so much to the immersion in my experience. It's definitely a big part of the reason I actually fell in love with MMOs that have done something similar. Like, for example, in WoW, when I first realized that I could walk the entire length of a continent from the southernmost point of Stranglethorn Vale all the way up to the Plague Lands, I was just blown away. Like, it makes for such an immersive, engrossing world that really, really adds to spending time in it. And just
I had the same experience, but with RuneScape. Like, you're just, well, here you go. Here's the world. You're off. Go do shit. Like, there's no, there's no direction, really. You're just, here's a giant world, and you can go explore. And it's an MMO, so there's a bunch of other people running around it. And, yeah, go talk to them. It's a great time.
Makes it feel like
It blew my mind back in the day. As a little kid, playing it on the computer and seeing other people like cutting down trees, talking to them. I'm selling this. I'll double your GP, getting scammed.
Much more lively place. And now each of the zones in Diablo 4 are, as expected, thematically distinct. So they've talked about how as you go through these zones from one to the next, you're actually going to see natural transitions in the environment. They said if you walk from the Fractured Peaks into Howitzer, you'll come across all these waterfalls caused by snowmelt. So you're actually going to see the snow like melting away, forming into rivers and then into waterfalls, and then making its way down into this large basin.
Like I said, the little details go a long way in a game.
Basin that fills up Howitzer and kind of causes all of the swamp water of that area. But beyond the look and the setting, every region also brings with it a unique twist to the content inside of it. So for example, the interior of dungeons will be modeled after their location. In Skosglen, dungeons may be flooded with moss all over the place because that fits the region. Or in Kyrgyzstan, you're going to be seeing a whole lot more sand in the dungeons that you go in. Same goes for the monsters within each region. So you might find the snowy goatmen in Fractured Peaks, but you will find lightning goatmen in the dry steppes. And even there are certain monster families that are primarily tied.
Oh shit, there he is. Damn. That's wicked. I was not expecting the goatmen to look like that, but that's dope as fuck. Holy shit.
Single region. Like the Drown, for example, would be mainly found on the coast of Skosglen. Now, all of this like thematic and immersive stuff aside, Diablo 4's open world is full of basically everything you expect from an open world game. There will be dungeons, over 100 of them, in fact,
100
each one with
dungeons,
a set entrance in the world that's unique to it, and each dungeon has its own unique theme and backstory and quests that will go to it, all with these procedural elements that change the layout and enemy encounters so that no two runs through a dungeon are exactly alike. Beyond fighting
That's
monsters,
dope.
you're also going to find special events in dungeons, special shrines, puzzles, and boss fights. And then dungeons are also where you go to farm the aspects, which are used to enhance your gear with legendary powers. There are public events scattered all about. These are just special objectives that multiple players can engage with. You'll see these little red rings on your mini map. You go there, you do whatever.
I haven't seen another character, like player character, not NPC on or mob on the screen yet, besides like
The objective.
people you've been linked up with or that's in your squad. I haven't seen like a actual just a random guy walking by, because it's an MMO. I'm pretty sure people can just be on your world.
And you collect a reward. They've got strongholds, which are basically bigger, elaborate events tied to particular points of interest, like castles and towns. It's almost like doing a little quest chain that you just come across naturally as you find it in the world. Clearing these areas change them permanently. This will open up new content a lot of times, like a small town.
I'm so excited to play.
appear.
What are we at? 27 minutes. Come on. I was in earlier. I shouldn't have
Maybe it
left.
unlocks a new event hub, or even sometimes
I had to work.
one or even multiple dungeon locations. Some other stuff in the open world include things like cellars, which are these small one-room areas with some enemies to clear and mini-bosses. There are collectible resources used for the game's crafting, so you'll find things like ores, berries, and demon hearts. There are these things called the Altars of Lilith, hundreds of them in the game, and when you find them, which they are actually many of which are difficult to locate, but when you do find them, they grant you a permanent stat boost for all characters. It's an account-wide stat boost, increasing things
account-wide
like
stat boost.
intelligence, and dexterity. But
That's
then
crazy.
there's the real big stuff, which actually leads me into reason number 3 to be excited about Diablo 4, and that is its large-scale group content. So currently, this comes in 2 forms:
This dude read my mind. I was just asking about it.
World bosses and Legion events. World bosses are exactly what you
shit.
expect. These are large-scale fights.
That
in
looks
the
a lot
open
like
world
Lost Ark.
against very big bosses. Now, when I played a preview last year, there was one world boss in that area. It was located on the far eastern side of the Fractured Peaks, part of the world that was clearly designed specifically for the fight. It was like this large, open, iced-over lake with nothing else around it. So there's a warning that goes up 5 minutes prior to a boss spawning. There's a countdown timer. You go to the area, and in our instance, we saw like this massive spawning pool, and when the timer ended, out popped a Shava the Pestilent. So he's like a kind of bird-looking monstrosity. He's got a beak and a lot of spikes, these 2 large talons, and what are probably wings if he had feathers, and a few
metal-looking bird.
Like he could jam his claw into the ground and then swoop it around in a big arc. He would leap away from the group, forcing you to get closer, but then if you did, he had like a lunge attack, or he could smash his arm directly.
That's a fucking metal-looking bird. It has 2 skulls right there. Dude.
Underneath him. So you fight the boss, you try to not get one shot, and they have various health segments, and then as a lot of boss fights in games like this are, they will go through different phases as you get their health lower and lower. And I gotta say, from what I played, the sense of scale in these fights was really awesome. One reason is because they zoom the camera way, way, way back, much further than where it typically sits, and this really makes the boss feel a lot larger because your character looks a lot smaller on your screen. Now, Blizzard has said that these fights will cap out at, I believe, 12 players, so that's a decent number of people all going after one boss. And I do believe they intend to launch D4 with 4 world bosses. I know 3 have been confirmed so far, but I'm pretty sure I heard there's going to be a 4th that's just not revealed
12
yet.
people.
But beyond boss fights, there are also what are known as Legion events. Now, these are kind of like
those?
public events, but at a much larger scale. Sometimes these will just be out in the world, but other times they will be locked behind a stronghold. So again, in the preview build that we played in the Fractured Peaks, there was one stronghold called Kor Dragon. We went there, and it was like infested with these vampires. We had to clear these boils and go through a couple of phases. And once we cleared the stronghold, it opened up one of these Legion
that's a
events.
sorcerer.
And yeah, it's just like a much, much harder version of a small public event. Multi-scaled, a lot of different objectives, difficult mini-bosses, sometimes an actual full-on boss. And these appear to require multiple people to take on, similar to the world boss. So pretty cool stuff. 2 large-scale group content already in the game. game, but honestly, it feels like they're kind of just scratching the surface.
I'm not going to be the barbarian.
Most hopeful for is
That's
the
not my type of
potential
character.
that they could open this up and do more with it. Personally, I would love for Diablo 4 to take a note out of Lost Ark's book when it comes to their end game rating specifically. Having this challenging content that requires big teams of players to take on, and that is a lot more than just like a DPS or a survivability check, with mechanics that require players to pay attention and not just like, hey, don't stand in the fire, you know what I mean? There's just a lot of potential to craft interesting encounters, big group content. We see it in Lost Ark, even from Blizzard's very own perspective. They've got WoW.
Is that how you loot?
A lot of PvE group content encounters, and I would love to see a Diablo spin on this sort of thing, or what I would refer to as like the pinnacle endgame content, these longer term goals that you're working towards as you're going through the gearing up process.
I'm dying to see. 20 minutes. 20 minutes, chat. We're halfway.
I would love to see it. At the moment, we know that the end game in Diablo 4 will consist primarily of running nightmare dungeons, doing the Helltide open zone farming, world bosses, and the Tree of Whispers. And I just think it'd be cool if they add more of bigger scale stuff to this list. Now on to reason number 4, and that is PvP content. You know,
reasons
in any
does
game
he have?
that I've ever played
PvP.
that has open world PvP, that aspect of the game inevitably ends up creating some of the most memorable moments. There's just something about like the sense of danger and unpredictability of open world PvP that makes for lasting memories, honestly. And so
dude, that's gonna be insane. Just running into a group where you're like, oh, well, I guess we got to show down with them, and
I'm happy to
you're just going at it.
know that Diablo 4 will have it. Specifically, they've got what are called the Fields of Hatred. These are designated areas of the world where PvP between players is 100% open. Anyone who steps into these zones is flagged for PvP up until they leave. Now, beyond going over there for the sake of conflict and fighting other players, there is loot, resources, and a special PvP currency. So Blizzard has stated that the gear and the loot that drops in these regions will be similar to any other endgame activity. So fans of PvP don't have to feel like they're sacrificing any of their PvE progression. And yeah, basically, in general, Fields of Hatred are going to be just like any other zone in the game in terms of its content and things to do, as well as the loot that you'll get. There will be dungeons, public events, altars of Lilith, and everything else that I mentioned, but with the extra addition of open PvP and a special currency called Seeds of Hatred. So by either killing monsters or other players in these regions, beyond whatever loot drops, you'll also collect Seeds of Hatred. The seeds themselves are useless until they are extracted into red dust. Now, to do this, you have to head to these static altar locations, deposit any seeds you've collected, and this slowly begins converting it into red dust. But during this process, which takes a bit of time, there will be a zone-wide notification alerting nearby players that someone is using the altar. What this ends up doing is kind of creating this focused PvP conflict. Now, if you successfully extract the seeds into red dust, you keep the red dust for good. But if you die while carrying the seeds or while trying to convert them, other players can then steal the seeds and then turn it into red dust for themselves. And what is the red dust used for? Well, from my understanding, this is primarily going to be a means of, it's like a currency that you're going to trade in for special PvP cosmetics. Now, late last year, during an interview with some of the Diablo 4 development team, I did ask how gear and or power balancing will work in PvP zones, as in, are they going to be doing any adjustments for like player levels?
Sounds like a lot. Like, I'm sure people are going to be complaining about broken weapons, so it's going to be interesting for them to balance the game, or maybe not balance it at all and just say fuck it.
Various defensive and offensive stats, etc. And their response was, it's a work in progress. So at least at the time, they weren't certain if they were going to be doing any power equalization, or if it's just going to be what it is. Whatever your level, whatever your power, your strength, your gear, all that stuff. If there's someone in the game that you're just going to totally one-shot, you're going to one-shot them. Or they balance it. They hadn't settled either way. Personally, I gotta say,
I kind of hope you just one-shot the person. I hate balancing, but yeah, I hate balancing. That's like ruins the whole point. I want to be able to crush you because you didn't fucking grind the game. I don't know though.
I would also love if they added some form of structured PvP. In some of the early builds of Diablo 3, they had an arena mode where 2 teams would duke it out in a small enclosed space. I got the chance to play as myself at a BlizzCon one year, and I really enjoyed the smaller scale and the competitive nature of it. Although they did eventually remove this before D3 launched, I think largely due to them being unsure of how to best balance PvE and PvP power. I do hope it's an idea that they revisit in the future. Also, I would love if they took a stab at large-scale PvP. This could be a hoot. Like, imagine having an entire zone with 2 teams
New
fighting
World
over,
style?
I don't know, control of some towers, or trying to capture specific areas, or collecting resources to bring back to their base.
Large-scale PvP could work better than New World. New World large-scale PvP is not that good. This, though, I just feel like with how the camera's out and just more advantageous for large-scale.
There's just so much potential that could be really fun while also fitting thematically into the Diablo universe. I mean, hey, Diablo Immortal even has a system of factions with players divided into the Shadows or the Immortals. I think something like that could be great in a non-pay-to-win Diablo game. Reason number 5 I am excited for this game is the seasonal updates. You know, with Diablo 4 being so much more heavily monetized than D3, part of their justification beyond, you know, being a for-profit business is that they will be using the extra revenue to fund continuous support and updates for the game. So this will come in the form of seasonal updates, which they have said they are building a dedicated team to bring us up to 4 seasons a year, each with major new features. Specifically, they have said that every season will come with fresh new gameplay features and a new quest line that reveals more of the world and story, that they would be refreshing the meta with new legendary and unique items, paragon boards, glyphs, and other features. There would be new live events, such as these invasions, where different monster families might say take over an entire region of the world, along with various other means of improvement, quality of life features, polish, and tuning. And yeah, they're funding all of this via a battle pass and the in-game cash shop. Now, as someone who intends to play and ideally enjoy Diablo 4, the game getting continuous new content is of course a plus, but as with any other live service game, it's really gonna just boil down to whether or not they live up to the promise of delivering worthwhile content. And yeah, they do say that this will be
I mean, that's what will make or break the game is content.
Substantial and meaningful updates, but at the same time, I have to imagine they won't be too substantial or too meaningful. And I say that because we know they intend to sell expansions, right? So I imagine all of the biggest additions will come with those expansions. I would assume this includes things like anytime they add a new class or add a brand new zone or any other really significant feature. I have to assume that that will go in expansions because it has to justify the cost of an expansion. And I don't mean this to sound
I don't want
overly
to
critical.
fucking buy. I don't want to buy an expansion. It better be worth it.
Genuinely curious, like what updates do we expect with seasons that will be big, but not big enough that they want to save it for an expansion instead? In any case, we at least have a rough outline of what they are hoping to do, and it does indeed sound like seasons and D4 will be more substantial than Diablo 3, which is good for anyone looking to stick around and continuously play the game. And reason number 6 is the development team's communication. You know, Blizzard has had a rough last few years, to put it lightly, and part of their effort to correct course has been a
11 minutes
uptick in communication and interaction with the community. Ever since the game was first revealed, they've been consistently posting updates, the quarterly updates, various interviews and blog posts. They've been very
Makes
open.
Sense. Makes sense. All right. Can you Uber in Battlefield? I'm sure you can. I don't want to wait. What's a good video to watch for a couple minutes? PlayStation VR 2. I want to see that, but not for 35 minutes. It's the longest video. Milk. Fine, we'll watch it.
Couldn't tell you. Could have been fat.
Some quick content.
Skim
Did
milk,
it taste
soy
like
milk.
what you just drank?
Yeah.
Okay, then you definitely drink skim. Because I did too. And I got to college, and the machines had 2% or whole, and I started drinking whole, and I was like, this is just liquid ice cream.
I
Like,
love
this
whole
is-
milk.
yeah,
Whole
it's a
milk is
whole
good.
nother level. I drank it as a kid too. A lot of people don't like it, but it's a solid A tier for me. I like
Whole milk?
This is very nostalgic. I used to have this all the time.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be an A for me as well. It's nothing
A.
like special, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
skim
skim?
milk is fat-free milk.
Fucking woke liberals
Yep.
renaming our milk.
Exactly. This is 1% milk, whereas
Rich people.
I like 2%, probably the best.
one. I was like, what do you mean? It's not expensive.
I don't know why I keep smelling it like it's going to have a different aroma to it. Like a wine sommelier.
Ugh.
You gotta let it aerate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
I
just
like
the
milk,
exact
but
same thing as the last milk.
Gotta have a
Give it
right,
a little more.
be in the right mood.
How about like 1% more? You think?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this just tastes exactly the same as that.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
actually couldn't
go-
discern the difference.
That one got a 90. This one got a 91. It's
Jesus.
an A.
Yeah, this is just going to be an A.
How
It's
is
gonna
this
be a
19
disservice.
minutes?
Dude, it's
Like,
Right?
think that.
Yeah.
This thing's kind of... Who would want today?
that's
How
the
is this
crazy thing
19
about
minutes?
milk.
I can't watch any more of that. I don't know. I clicked on that. All right, Mudahar. Throw it
Hello,
at me.
guys and gals, me Mudahar, and today we're looking at a brand new YouTube scam, boys.
What is it?
Just dropped. Let's get started. This one uses AI.
Oh,
Now,
I know what
before
I
we
wanted to
begin,
watch.
This video's
I wanted to watch that CoffeeZilla video and make a clip and then post it on the shorts in TikTok.
The influencers who
know it's terrible because of the association with somebody who ended up being a terrible fraud, and it's miserable. The way
This
I
guy,
compare it,
he gives such a bad. So he got paid probably like $1 million to promote FTX, which went under, which collapsed. Massive biggest crypto collapse, huge, massive deal.
I was
And he got paid to promote it. And he's a crypto and financial expert, and he was promoting pretty much a scam.
a real estate broker for quite a while. Still am a real estate broker, and oftentimes clients ask us for vendor recommendations. Hey, who's a good electrician? Who's a good plumber? And I've had this before where 98% of the time the electrician you recommend is great, and at one time something goes wrong, and that stuff happens. It turns into this situation where the person who's responsible.
This is a weird
is the
format, though,
person
to
making the
have this
mistake.
conversation.
And I know it's
Like,
terrible
holding
because
it
it's
and-
like, hey, well, financial influencers, how come they didn't know?
Like, I don't know,
We
kind of
didn't
weird.
have access to
for something so
financials
serious.
At FTX, we had hired individual representatives like agencies who do this sort of stuff, and they tell us they do all the vetting for us. This
But
is
you're
why
the
we hire
expert.
people to help us.
But you're the expert. Why do you need somebody to do it for you? You're the expert. This is your whole YouTube content. Why are you hiring somebody to do it for you?
And so we don't have a look into the systems of what's really going on behind the scenes. And I think that's the
That's your whole fucking YouTube content. What do you mean?
same thing that happened to people like, Shaq or Matt Damon or whomever else has been
Yeah, but Shaq's not a financial expert. Matt Damon's not a financial expert. Self-proclaimed. You are, though.
caught up in this. But I think the worst case scenario out of all of this is the individuals who don't have access to their deposits.
But do you think you should, specifically you or me, Graham or anybody else like who promoted it? I think the difference is between you and Tom Brady is people kind of expect you guys to know. Do you think you should be, do you think you should be giving recommendations if you can't do the proper due diligence because, as you said, you don't have access to these financials? And then B, do you think that given that you
Right, so if you don't know, then why are you, promoting it? I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to go promote it.
guys profited, I'm guessing somewhere in the realm of $1 million plus from these FTX things, do you think that you should give back all of that money?
All of it. He
So
never
first,
would.
my expectation is my profit from FTX, just to be as transparent as possible, is probably somewhere around 225K.
And he says that like that makes it better. Like, that makes that better. Like, oh, I didn't get $1 million. I only got 225K. Dude, that's still a lot of fucking money to promote that shit. Like, what?
It's supposed to be closer to 300, but they never paid me the last.
And then he goes, well, I'm a victim now. They didn't pay me. I'm a victim. Shut the fuck up.
Payment, so I'm probably somewhere right around 220. I need to fact check that, but we're close somewhere
I
around
need to
that.
fact check that.
And
I need to fact check that. I didn't fact check anything in this FTX, but I need to fact check my money, you know.
ultimately, I agree with you. I think that there needs to be there needs to be a lot more diligence in when sponsorships are made with creators.
Yeah, because you guys are dealing with finances. This isn't a NordVPN ad where if things go wrong, you know, something happens. This is like if something goes wrong, people's entire livelihoods are at stake. And for better or for worse, you guys are seen as the experts. And so you guys are held to that expert standard. It's like if a doctor recommended a pill that doesn't work and gives you some, you know, gives you cancer or something.
Suppose it's also relevant to what people individually say, right? Because individually, I've always said, look, crypto is extremely speculative and that it should represent a tiny portion of your portfolio, if anything at all. On top of that, it's also incumbent upon the
Then why promote it? Oh, because you're getting paid.
individual to take some responsibility that we know not your keys, not your crypto. That's been made abundantly clear. Even with these bank failures, I believe that ultimately depositors deserve some form of a haircut because ultimately they choose. Now, if I say, hey, go to...
That's wild to me. Depositors deserve some form of haircut because they got scammed. You got scammed, so you deserve it. Like, wait, what?
You know, Silicon Valley Bank and get a loan, and you're like, yeah, I get a loan here, I get all these benefits. Ultimately, you take that risk. So
Yeah, but those benefits, this dude's an idiot. Those benefits were illegal benefits. That's what he doesn't get. Those were illegal benefits that they were doing, that they're not allowed to do. That's why so many people were going to Silicon Valley Bank. What an idiot.
it is incumbent upon the individual to take responsibility as well. Yes, a doctor can refer you, hey, maybe this medicine will work.
But the individuals aren't the experts. That's the whole problem.
This dude wants the individual to take responsibility, yet he doesn't want to take any responsibility for anything of his actions. Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
The problem is they rely on experts to help them make this decision. They don't have the luxury of spending all day looking at finance and stuff like this. So they rely on people to make their decisions for better or worse. And then when things go wrong, you know, ultimately people are going to look to the experts in the room and say, hey, what happened? And if the answer is, well, we just didn't do enough due diligence, sorry, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, that's not good enough. No, that's definitely not good enough. Like, oh, I didn't know. Sorry. We profited a ton from this, and you lost all your money. Sorry. But we're the expert. Well, you should definitely listen to us. We know everything.
So I think that's where their question.
This dude's facial reactions, too, are driving me batshit crazy. He doesn't act like he cares at all.
It's about, like, giving back all the money.
First of all, he's doing such a serious interview in a fucking car while driving. This dude does not give a fuck one bit.
From have you spoken to anybody about just giving back the money to the people affected?
Once all the cards are settled, or all the dust is settled, so to speak, and everybody gets whatever money is left back, whatever deposits are left, I'm a big fan of contributing to some sort of recovery fund when it's all over, not because I feel responsible. I do not feel responsible, but because I feel sorry for people who, quite frankly, lost money because they either didn't listen to the advice of not your keys, not your...
This dude doesn't feel sorry for promoting a unregistered security.
Crypto, or they put too much of their own portfolio on. You know, if I go onto a gambling website because somebody says, hey, go gamble here, you'll make a lot of money, and I lose money, that's on me. And I want to be clear, too. I invested in BlockFi thinking this was going to be a great investment. I put $420,000 into BlockFi.
That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it right what the gambling companies are doing. So you're a scumbag? Is that what you're saying?
I lost every dime of that because the company went bankrupt.
Because like everybody realizes those gambling companies are scumbags. Like we all know that. I don't know.
Now, did I blame Anthony Pompliano for making the recommendation or suggesting, hey, you could invest with my fund into...
I'm sure he did too. Behind the scenes, I'm sure he did blame Anthony Pompliano or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm sure he did blame him.
BlockFi? Absolutely not, because I'm a big boy and I take personal responsibility. So I want to be very clear.
You're a
just
big boy
because
and take personal responsibility, except in this situation where you're taking zero responsibility and zero consequences. You don't want to face any consequences. This dude is such a hypocrite. It is unreal.
Should be, and I'm happy to work with this, some form of like basically a charity. Let's be clear, that's what it is. It's not taking responsibility, because ultimately I don't think any influencer has to take responsibility for what somebody does with product advice. That responsibility should only arise if somebody actually hires somebody, like retaining an attorney, hiring a doctor for their own personal situation, or hiring a personal financial advisor. Otherwise, from there, it's a lesson to the whole community. We've got to be more careful with sponsors.
This dude is an actual moron. Actual dumb fuck moron. Whoever listens to this dude, meet Kevin. Oh my God. They don't have to bear any responsibility for promoting scams. Okay. Fuck off.
And the viewers have
It's up to the viewer to know that it's a scam. Oh, but we're the experts. You gotta trust us. We're so smart. If you don't trust us, you're gonna miss out on this, great deal at this bank.
Diligent about their own decisions.
Well, there you go, guys. Those are the thoughts of Meet Kevin. And I want to thank him for coming on. And maybe one day he'll...
One thing I do have to say, he came on, though. He came on and defended himself. Shitty defense. But at least he came on. The other guys didn't come on. They're too much of pussies. Granted, they're in a legal battle now. But you can still probably talk about it a little bit.
He'll start that...
Kevin is.
Charity he's talking about. Maybe not. But until then... I just want you to understand something the next time you're thinking of trusting a financial influencer. These promotional deals, how they work with things like FTX, is that there's a code associated with it that tracks sales. For example, you might have heard of somebody saying, hey, use code CoffeeZilla, or, they have some link, right? So FTX can see how many people signed up with Kevin's link or Shaq's link. And you know who takes responsibility when it's time to make money? The
influencer.
They take responsibility.
That's all you hear. People love taking credit these days. Oh, I did this. I did that. I did this. I did that. But when that shit hits the fan, oh, no. That wasn't me. No, I would never. Nobody ever wants to take responsibility. Except when it's advantageous. It's bullshit. People are such hypocrites.
Joining their platform. That's how FTX grew. They paid all these people who wanted to be responsible for bringing you in. But you know what happens when things go wrong? Suddenly, they're not responsible. You did it. It's on you. Isn't that a convenient switch up of who brought you in? At first, it was them, and then you brought yourself in. You got to take responsibility for your own actions. And I just don't think this is really working for people anymore. I think it really just benefits the influencers and the financial companies, but hardly anyone else. It's bad for regular people. And I think they're just...
Yeah, that mate Kevin guy seems like an actual scumbag. Fuck that guy. All right. Let's see.
I just don't think this is really working for people.
All right, let's see. Are we in? We're in. Let's go. Sorcerer. I can't be the necromancer or the druid, but we can be the rogue. Customize, all right. That's more my skin type. Eye color, dark blue, actually light blue. Hair, Probably this. Facial hair. We'll go with this. Actually, yeah, we'll go with this. Markings, makeup, jewelry. Oh, we need some drip. What should we rock? Oh, this right here. Do I have to wear the makeup though? Yeah, I don't want the makeup. I just want the earrings. What markings do we want? No, those look like shit. Those are kind of cool. Nah. No. No, no. Jesus. The scales of justice. Let's do it. Oh, that was drippy. Gameplay options. Probably not hardcore, right? No. New to Diablo. I want the full challenge. Let's go. I'll be right back real fast. Some packages at the door. While it's starting. My request timed out. What? Start game. Adventure tier. What are we doing? Come on. Hello? I did not wait 48 minutes to not get in. Come on. Let's try it again. I memorized it. No makeup. Jewelry, it was this. Tattoos, it was the scales. Where's that at? Come on. Oh, this one, yeah. The blue paint. You've been lurking? What's good? I'm trying to get in this game. 48-minute wait time, queue. And now I'm trying to get in and I'm not having any luck. How about you? How you doing? Connor? I don't want to dox you. I'll just call you Just in the, Come on, let me in. What the fuck, man? Oh, shit. Why do I have 3 characters? Start game. Play. Play. I can't go back either. I've been doing pretty good. Hell yeah. What are you playing? Some Valorant? Oh no. Play. Bro, let me in. Let me see if there's anything going on with the Diablo 4 code. Three zero zero 0008. Is the only code they've heard about so far. Naturally means that you've attempted to connect to the beta 4 servers has been denied. Your best bet to fight against the errors to reconnect and try again. You may want to re-verify the game files. You've been playing? Hell yeah. With TRX? Hell yeah. Change world tier? Yeah, let's go to adventure. Sure. Just let me in. Dude, I don't want it to wait another 40 minutes to get in because I have to restart my game. You guys been ranking up? What rank are you guys? Bro, this is bullshit. I already pre-purchased it. I'm gonna exit out and exit back in. It's a mistake, but alright, let's reload it. We have lost both 0 RR negative. You're plastic. 97 minutes? Dude, I couldn't get in. He's bronze 1, I'm iron 3. Yeah, I feel it. Dude. I don't want to wait another 97 minutes. Dude. That's an hour and a half of just sitting here. I don't know what to do. It's not like I can start another game either. Of wait time, I know. I think I might just end the stream and get back on once this shit's so loud. Thank you. Once the game is I'm in and I'm loaded fully. I don't want to just have you guys wait around. It's not worth it. So I'll be back on in an hour and a half once I'm in the game. I appreciate you guys tuning in. But yeah, I'll be back on around 7 o'clock my time, EST. So check me then. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Just TRX. Have a good one. I'll talk to you then. Peace.